Good afternoon. Thank you so much for tuning in and joining us today on The Big Question right here on Women Radio WFM 91.7. It's about 14 minutes after 12. Sincere apologies for starting behind schedule, but we are here now, and of course we'll get on with the program because we have a very special guest with us this afternoon on The Big Question. The Big Question is a program where we discuss and provide solutions to issues affecting us as a nation and as citizens. And The Big Question comes to you Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 12:05 p.m. You can do what? Join the conversation by dialing 07000 917 917. Send us a text or a WhatsApp message to 070 317 56537. So today on The Big Question, we'll be looking at promoting women leadership and mentoring in engineering. That is our topic for today. And we have with us, joining us virtually, the first female and the 34th president of the Nigerian Society of Engineers. We're talking about Engineer Margaret AINA OGUNTALA. All right, good afternoon, Engineer Margaret. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Good afternoon. My apologies again. I had this official engagement from which I could not tell myself very easily. So my apologies, please.
All right. Thank you so much for taking our time to join us so we could talk about this today. All right, so let's just get on straight into it. Now, today we are definitely honored to have you join us on the program as the first female and 34th president of the Nigerian Society of Engineers. And we're looking at promoting women leadership and mentoring in engineering. So first off, let us know how, as the 34th and the first female president of the Nigerian Society of Engineers, what does this mean to you, and how do you think this is going to encourage other women in the association and other fields that are dominated, that are male dominated?
Thank you. Well, I feel highly honored and privileged, really, to be in this highly exalted position, leading great minds, and very serious, innovative people of diverse discipline within the engineering profession. And excited as I feel sometimes, I also feel kind of, I don't know how to put it, but when you're kind of scared of the expectations and all, so it puts me on edge sometimes. And well, I also know that, for every one thing that a man does to succeed, a woman needs to do twice as much at least. So it means a lot of great work ahead of me. Yes, and I think that, well, my position would inspire women, not just engineers.
Okay.
So I'm going to do a lot of working hard, a lot of being on my toes, a lot of sleepless nights, if you wish, and then just be sure that I deliver on the promise that I made to Nigerian engineers when I campaigned for this position.
Yeah.
And that is the rebirth of the Nigerian Society of Engineers for growth, empowerment, and advancement of engineering in Nigeria.
Okay. Thank you so much, Engineer Margaret, for taking us through all that. Now, you talked about contesting for this election. Now, information reaching us was that this was a keenly contested election. Now, how was the whole process for you, especially as a woman in this field, and being the first female president? Do you think that, and you were the vice president for some terms, before you became the president. Now, do you think that actually gave you an advantage during the whole campaign? Maybe people saw the kind of work you have put in and, with the promises you have made, and they knew that, okay, yes, you could deliver. Did that give you an advantage?
Of course, having been a vice president was an advantage, but then it is also a requirement. So every one of us who contested at that time had been a vice president. So you have to have been a vice president for at least 24 months to be able to qualify to contest for the post of deputy president, which we were contesting for. So what I think gave me an advantage now was what I did as vice president, not just having been vice president, but what I was able to bring to the table, the values that I brought to the Nigerian Society of Engineers in terms of playing my role well, delivering, and very diligently within the code of ethics of the profession. And, so those are the things that gave me an edge. And then, of course, the fact that I ran a very, very serious campaign. I started my campaign much earlier than everybody else.
Okay.
The election was November 2021, but I started my campaign in December 2020.
Wow.
I took it to every corner of Nigeria. We have, at that time, we had, I think, 82 branches. And I touched each branch of the Nigerian Society of Engineers.
My goodness, all of them.
25 divisions, yes. Thank God for technology. So I used Zoom most of the time. Delivering papers, technical papers, and papers on soft skills and all. I delivered a total, within 10 months, a total of about 27 papers.
Wow.
You know, apart from physical, some were physical. And then I also made some physical appearance in some of those branches. So it was a lot of work for me. And I mean, I can beat my chest that I did a lot more work than my opponents. So, but then again, I also took advantage of the power of collaboration. So knowing that no woman had been here before, I knew that I had to work a lot with the men. And then also knowing that the percentage of women, I mean, the ratio of women to men in NSE, in engineering, is kind of low. So in terms of number, which politics is all about, even if I was the only woman contesting, all the women may not have been able to get me into the office. And then we had 3 women contesting. So there were a total of 5 of us, 3 women and 2 men. So we had the votes of the women divided into 3 to start with.
Okay.
So I had to do a lot of work with the men. And over the years, I must say that just as my fellow female engineers support me, I have also enjoyed the support of a lot of men. Support, and many of them support and promote me. So those are the things that worked for me, really, I would say.
Okay. All right, thank you so much. This is Women Radio WFM 91.7, and of course, this is about 22 minutes after 12 on the program, The Big Question. So do want to call in on 07000 917 917. Let's get your thoughts and, of course, your comments this afternoon on The Big Question, as we have the first female and 34th president of the Nigerian Society of Engineers, Engineer Margaret AINA OGUNTALA, FNSE. All right, so now let's head on to hear more about promoting women's leadership. Now, as the first female president in NSE, do you believe promoting women's leadership in engineering contributes to a more diverse and innovative work environment? And if so, how does this actually contribute? Because we want to hear more women, even as your president, taking up other leadership roles also in engineering and even outside engineering. So how does this promote women's leadership? How does you being there as the first female president of NSE, how does it promote women's leadership in engineering and probably other fields too?
Well, my being here, well, to start with, just being here, it's a kind of gives us a kind of renewed hope, that women too can get here. And then the fact that, we have APWEN, the Association of Professional Women Engineers of Nigeria, of which I am a member. So I naturally, APWEN will enjoy more support now from the NSE. And it's a natural thing, and I don't think I should apologize for that. So, however, I will do my best to be fair, because I am the president of the Nigerian Society of Engineers, which comprises even more of men than women. So I believe that being here would enhance the position of women. It will allow people to see, to realize, or to recognize the fact that indeed women do have the capacity and the capability to hold leadership positions, not just in male-dominated fields like engineering, but in every other discipline, for that matter, in every other profession. So, and the fact that I also have, by the time I start delivering on my agenda or my strategic priorities, people will realize too that yes, indeed, women can do a lot more than some people think, and that will inspire more women and inspire the men too to support us more. So that's what I think.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much, Engineer Margaret, for that. Now, our time is fast spent, but I'll just ask you this few more questions. Now, what steps do you believe are really essential and critical in creating a supportive environment for women engineers to thrive, not just professionally, but even personally as well? Because we have a lot of young ladies now who would want to come into NSE, and they would want to see a lot of women thriving too, because that would give them hope to say, okay, yes, one day I can get there. But if you don't see a lot of women like you doing things and thriving and climbing the ladder of success, then they might just say, oh, okay, so this is business as usual, like in other places. So what are the steps that you believe should be created to give women and young girls that support they need, especially in engineering, to thrive, not just professionally, but even personally?
Well, thank you. We have this problem, retaining women in engineering. We lose a lot of them in the pipeline. We graduate many female engineers, and then we are unable to retain their interest in engineering because of course, a lot of reasons, particularly cultural, domestic, and all of that. So what needs to be done is in the workplace, to start with, women should be given some special considerations. For instance, during the productive years of a woman, she should be allowed to maybe bring her baby to work. Okay, I got in here on January 1, and I'm already thinking of having a creche here.
Okay.
So that my nursing mothers can have a place to keep their baby. And then also excusing them from very strenuous works when they are pregnant. So, and understanding the fact that we give that allowance not because they are not capable, but because at that point in their lives, they need the space to be able to also carry out their duties, their feminine duties, so to speak. So, however, I also believe that in all of this, we women need to also learn the politics, the boardroom politics, which comes with employment, with life generally. Okay, so I believe that mentoring also would help.
Yeah.
Women who have made it in the profession should show the way, be kind of mentor the younger ones and let them see that indeed it is possible to aspire, for leadership positions and to grow in the profession. We have a lot of women. I can mention so many engineers, female engineers who have made it in the engineering profession, and yet are mothers and wives. So I think we should use those women as inspiration for the younger people so that they will know that it's possible.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much. So now what's your advice for women who are in male-dominated fields and would like to take up leadership roles? What's your advice for such women, not only in, engineering, but in probably, sciences, in STEM in general, right? So what would be your advice to these women who are in male-dominated fields and want to take up leadership roles?
Thank you. Well, my advice is this. Anywhere you find yourself, whether it's particularly in the male-dominated field where it is assumed that the woman does not have the capacity that a man has, what you do is you, whatever job you are given, you do it and do it well. Show capacity at all times and develop your capacity. Professional development, personal development are things that you must never take for granted. So you must continue to develop yourself and be sure that you are ready at every point in time to take up any role that we are given. And I will say again, I said this somewhere yesterday, that my father was one of the people, he was even the first person who taught me to aspire. And he would tell me, anywhere you find yourself, do whatever you need to do, prepare yourself for the highest position in that place or in that environment. And how do you do that? You develop yourself, capacity development, continuing professional development, particularly in engineering. So you must be abreast with what is happening in your profession. You must be abreast with new engineering or technology trends, so that anytime you are called upon, you are able to prove your mettle, so to speak. And then you show the men that you are indeed as capable, if not more capable than they are, as they are. So once they see that in you, they would respect you.
Yeah.
And all you need to be able to move around or to move up the ladder is respect, which will come from you delivering good service. Okay, in whatever area you find yourself. I'm using the word good service because now it's beyond engineering. So once you're able to do that and you earn the respect of everybody around you, it shouldn't be too difficult. And then learn the politics. There is a lot of politics everywhere, even in our homes.
True.
We do politics. I once asked my daughter, she was a baby, like 5 years old, and I said, which one do you like more, your daddy or I, or me? And she said, it's you. And then I asked the question again when her father was seated, and she did not give me an answer. So she knew. Yeah. So I knew that this one would make it in life. Yeah. Because she already knew the politics. Yeah. So we women, and sometimes women feel, I beg, it's too much, that kind of thing. So we must be resilient. Resilience, hard work and resilience will get you anywhere that you want to get to.
Thank you so much, Engineer Margaret. Thank you so much for being a part of our program. So any final words from you to our young women, young girls who, are seeing themselves or who want to get into any field in STEM? We're talking about sciences, technology, engineering, and mathematics. Now, these are fields.
And arts. There is arts in between. STEM now. We talk about STEM now.
Okay.
Science, technology, engineering, arts, and mathematics.
Okay. So now we have
good knowledge of arts will help in the engineering.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So just give us your final word to young girls who are probably still in school or those who are even about to write JAM, right? In a few months' time. So what will be your advice to these young minds who are preparing to get themselves into these fields?
Okay. So my word my advice would be this: make up your mind what you want to do. Stay focused. Work hard towards it. And you realize that you can be anything that you want to be. Sure. Just stay focused. Focus is very important. Hard work and resilience. Right. Those are the keys to life.
Thank you so much, Engineer Margaret, for being a part of our program today. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. God bless you. And have a great weekend.
Thank you. You too. And congratulations. I
hope you are coming to my investiture tomorrow.
I will try, but it seems as if I'm on duty, but I will try. Let's see how it goes.
Please do. It will be nice to see you there.
All right. Thank you very much.
Giving women support,
Yes, of course. Of course. Congratulations once again, Engineer Margaret.
Bye.
All right, bye. Thank you very much for being a part of our program. Now, that was the first female and 34th president of Nigerian Society of Engineers. All right. And we talked about promoting women leadership and mentoring in engineering. So we wish her all the best, and we're rooting for her and for so many other women and young girls too who be inspired to get into STEM. Now she says it's STEM, it's no longer STEM, so there's art in between. I mean, you can do what you put your mind to do. You can definitely achieve it. And this Engineer Margaret is just an example of one so many that have actually gone ahead to achieve it, to pave the way for you. All right. So just know that you can definitely do it. All right. So that's it on The Big Question today. Join us again on Monday at 12:05 for The Big Question. My name is Rose Yusuf Kaiser. Do you want to stay tuned to Women Radio WFM 91.7? Good afternoon.
WFM 91.7.